We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fast. They sleep again. We wake them up. The champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fast.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be brought out by the number 10 overall pick in the 2017 draft. It's Patrick Mahomes out of Texas Tech.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win. On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain.
Still second
for
down.
not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Caught out left side by Robinson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. So opening drive, 3rd down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on 3rd down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you You see the receiver breaking towards you, so it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Green 39. Green 39. Left. What's the edge?
They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Butker now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. The numbers last week for Bernard: 20 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
Dalton, rush coming, and he's taken down. D. Ford coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we got to watch. In this one, got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week in practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail!
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Second down, Dalton. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. To throw on 3rd down, Dalton. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. Bullock good on the extra point. And we are tied at 7. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting the lead. So you're not...
And he coughed it up, and the Bengals grab it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
To throw here, Dalton. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run here with Bernard. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
After review of the play,
here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And Bullock will put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And he rifles one incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes is going to find Hill here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him playing very well. We've also seen him pop.
Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. The big boy's big dream right there. He got to rumble and stumble all the way for 6.
Nothing like big man with football, is there? I mean, that brings people onto their feet every single time. And his dream was answered on that one, wasn't it? It was realized. He picks it off and takes it to the end zone.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now here's Mahomes. He's going to look deep down the field. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll toss it to Hunt. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run again with Hunt. And he's got some space here. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one good for 17 yards. And now they've got it 1st and goal.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. And that touchdown drive happened very, very quickly. You knew that they had the quick strike ability. They showed it.
And for a defense that understands that, it still drives them crazy when it actually happens to them. Fast and furious, there came the points.
Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete. Kareem Hunt, his running back, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
A toss play to Hunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And Butker able to put this one through. And that will knock things up here late in the 1st half. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
To the left side here for Eifert. Finding some room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this 1st half of play. Andy Dalton now 8 of 11 in this 1st half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So a good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings it. To the end of this first half of play. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, second quarter down in Tampa. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. 1st and 10 for Dalton. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Anthony Hitchens leading the surge there. He drops in for a loss of 6. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And Eifert has it. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed cross. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Dalton here from the gun. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, set this one off target.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Ace! Ace!
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. He's going to loft one deep, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Left, slow.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Being chased out left. And some space here. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Man open left side, it's Williams. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And it'll make it 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Mahomes throwing on second down. Conley's got it over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. This is Hunt, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
But he was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Chiefs on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Able to find Harris, complete. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They run with Hunt. Finding room to the 20. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. That'll bring up second down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Hunt. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good... job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Dalton now to pass. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
What the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Vontez Burfict, the one to get him down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. And that's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Steps away to his left. He is going to find Hill here. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And it's off the left upright. Oh, my goodness. Heartache. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's back to throw. Caught Eifert over the middle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. Yeah, this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization. Because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll look to throw. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. The Chiefs on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Mahomes got to have this one. And over the middle here, Amaro. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Dalton down to a knee, and that'll be all she wrote.